You said you're going for a business trip, right? When will you go?
Huh? Were you listening to me? It's from today. I won't be around until tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
Did you forget about that?
It's none of my business what you do.
Well, yeah, but...
So you're not coming home today, right?
No, I'm not. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I think you'll be surprised later.
What do you mean by that?
That's something you're going to have to wait until you get home.
When you say it like that, it makes me even more curious. Why don't you just tell me now, Archie? I honestly have a bad feeling about this.
That's rude. It could be a good thing, you know. I'm trying to surprise you, but you don't seem pleased at all. That's very disappointing.
I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling happy. I'm rather worried. I have the feeling that the surprise you're preparing is not a good thing.
Don't talk like that.
Because the last time you said that, you were fired from your job, right? I honestly have a bad feeling about this too. I'm anxious and nervous. Can you tell me now?
No kidding. Don't you ever think of enjoying that excitement?
Not at all.
You're such a boring woman.
Yeah, sorry for that. So, what is it?
Actually, my dad and mom decided to move in together. You're working too, so that's a big help, right?
What?
My parents love this house. They want to move in with us, so I said okay. They said they'd move in tomorrow.
Are you stupid? What are you talking about? How can you decide such an important thing without discussing with me in advance?
For heaven's sake. They're my parents, so it's obvious that I decided right away. Anyway, they're moving in together tomorrow.
Wait a minute. That's just too selfish.
They told me that they're gonna move the huge furnitures later. Anyway, my parents are coming tomorrow, so let's all live together and get along. Our house is going to be lively from now on. I'm looking forward to it.
You must be kidding me. I have no idea what you mean. I don't know what's going on. Explain it to me.
I just explained everything to you. Mom and Dad like this house. Why don't you get it?
That's not what I'm talking about. How can you allow your parents to move in so soon without consulting me first? It's beyond my comprehension. I can't keep up with you.
You're so stupid. Why can't you understand my explanation? I have no idea how I should explain to make you understand.
I can't talk about this anymore. I've had enough. I'm telling you, your parents can't just suddenly move in with us. Why do you have to decide all by yourself? Who gave you permission to do that?
Huh? Don't get cocky. It's my house, so what's wrong with me making decision? It's a wife's duty to follow her husband's decisions without complaining, isn't it?
Are you really that stupid? I bought that house in my name, didn't I? I'm the one who is paying for the mortgage. For your information, I'm not only paying for the house, I'm also paying for all your living expenses. The house is not yours. Don't be ridiculous. You're trying to let your parents move in a house I bought without my permission. That's insane.
The house is my house. I don't know what's wrong with that.
Why can't you understand the main problem here?
I wonder if I don't have enough intelligence level.
Don't be silly. You're pissing me off. Anyway, I can't do it.
What? I already said yes to my parents. I think they're heading this way.
Huh? You said yes to them? Who gave you permission to do that?
Don't be upset. Don't you think it's better to have more people living in our house? The house will be more lively, and we can have fun together. Moreover, my parents said that they'll pay a small amount of the living expenses too.
What do you mean by a small amount? You don't even pay for our living expenses. And now your parents only want to pay a small amount for that? Are you telling me that you want me to pay for the rest? No way. Do your parents know you don't work?
I don't think they know about that. I don't think I've told them.
You quit your last job a year and a half ago. You say you're looking for a job, but I don't even know if you're really looking for a job. Despite that, are you going to let your parents live with us?
I'm currently doing job hunting. I told you that I'll get a job at a famous company someday, didn't I? Why don't you just calm down first?
Why are you expecting me to calm down when you haven't even found any job yet? You've been telling me that you'll get a job soon over and over again. But look at you now. You're still jobless. I'm the one who's doing extra job because of that. You don't understand anything. Aren't you ashamed of yourself for living like a pimp?
A pimp? How rude. I've decided I'm not going to get involved in the family finances. I'm leaving you in charge of that, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm making ends meet with the money you give me. You have no right to complain.
What a pathetic guy. You say you can't manage the money, so I'm managing the family finances. But that doesn't mean you don't have to work. Besides, who's gonna take care of your parents? Me? That's absolutely impossible.
Huh? That's your duty as my wife. There are plenty of wives in this world who actually take care of their in-laws, right?
If a wife is supposed to take care of her in-laws, isn't the husband's job to work and earn money? What about that?
I'm protecting our house.
I don't think so. You just sit at home and watch TV on high volume. When you get bored, you play video games, then eat all the snacks. You don't do a single housework, so don't add more people.
I can't believe you just said that. You really are a heartless woman.
What did you say?
My parents said that they want to live with us. Don't you think I'd be happy to live with them? Why are you so insensitive to my parents' feelings? Aren't you ashamed of yourself for behaving like that toward my elderly parents?
How dare you talk to me like that? I'm so stunned. Aren't you ashamed if your elderly parents know about your situation? Before you agree to let them move in, you should get a job first. Or at least show some signs of helping out with the housework if you don't want to work. Seeing you living a life of idleness, your parents must be embarrassed of you.
I'm not doing the housework, but I'm taking control of our household.
I don't understand. Stop making jokes that aren't funny.
You're such a boring woman. I don't care what you say. My parents are coming tomorrow. I was going to surprise you. Too bad that you already found out. Anyway, my parents will start living with us from tomorrow.
No, absolutely impossible. Please don't let your parents live with us.
You're so persistent. Are you serious?
You're more persistent than me. You keep saying things that don't make sense. I hope this whole thing is just a dream I can forget right away when I wake up.
It can't be a dream. My parents are saying that they'll pay for the living expenses too. I don't want to refuse.
What? You're such a coward. You're already in your 40s. I can't believe you let your parents live with us just because you want to get some allowance from them. What a scumbag.
Scumbag? That's rude. Anyway, I'm the head of the family, so I have the right to make decisions. I made the decision, so you have to cooperate and follow them.
Absolutely not.
Aren't you glad that my parents are willing to live together with us? You're part of the family, and you're supposed to cooperate. All you have to do is to follow my lead.
Then we should stop being a family.
Excuse me?
I'm not going to cooperate with you. You can go ahead with the divorce.
What are you talking about? You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding. I'm very serious.
Wait a minute. Are you really sure about that?
I'm saying I want a divorce and I'm serious.
Divorce? That's not a funny joke.
I told you I'm serious, didn't I? Do you think I'm the kind of woman who would joke about something like that? I can't stay married with a man who is jobless and doesn't even want to listen to his wife's opinion. We'll be strangers soon.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. If you want to live together with your parents, then you must leave the house right away.
Huh?
Why don't you leave that house and find a house that your parents will like? I know what you and your parents are up to. Your parents' house was taken by the debtors, and they have to evict you, right?
How do you know that?
I know you were trying to make life easy for your family by moving into my house, but that's not going to happen. I won't give you and your family the precious house I bought with my own money. Why should I take care of you and your family? I have no such obligation.
Huh? That's your duty, because you're my wife. You could at least do that for me, couldn't you?
It's been a year and a half since I left my current company. 2 years after I left my last company, I've been taking care of you for at least 3.5 years. That's enough. I can't do this anymore. Are you trying to make me overworked? You said that you were using the money I gave you. But the fact is, you secretly withdrew it from my account without permission.
What? How did you find out?
Anyone can find out about that by checking the bank book. You're stealing my money, Archie, because you withdrew money from my account without my permission. Are you aware of what you did?
That's not true. We're a married couple after all.
But you withdrew money from my account without my permission. I count that as a debt.
Debt? Why? It's our family's income, so it's not a debt.
A debt is a debt. Anyway, I have proof. I'm getting a divorce no matter what. I'm going to ask you to pay back all your debts anyway.
Are you telling me that you've been planning this all along?
Of course not. You didn't even get a job. You've been slacking off for 3.5 years, talking nonsense all the time. You've been eating up the family's finances until now, but I didn't complain at all. I don't know what's normal anymore, though. Since you've invited your parents to live together, I think it's a perfect timing. I'll divorce you without hesitation.
I'm not getting a divorce. That's impossible.
Well, I think you'd better find a job as soon as possible since no one's gonna pay for your living expenses.
Now that we're married, let's continue to get along.
Anyway, pack up your stuff and leave before I get back, okay? I think I'll be back tomorrow evening, so please do that before then.
Huh? Don't be reckless.
I'm not reckless. While I was going for a business trip from tomorrow, you just decided to let your parents move into our house, right? So you could at least move out too. You don't have lots of stuff anyway. Why don't you just leave on your own?
That's too sudden. Do I really have to leave?
That's what I'm saying. Why can't you understand? I'm just saying that you should get kicked out of our house and move into that shabby house with your parents.
I don't want to live in a shabby house. I don't care what my parents think, but I don't want to.
What? You're the one who said that we shouldn't ignore your parents' feelings. Did you forget?
Well,
it's better to have a shabby house than nothing, isn't it? Too bad that you won't be able to live there anymore soon.
that's why I want to live with you.
That's not gonna happen because I've already decided to quit being your family. Now I'm finally ready for work.
Wait a minute. You've had enough fun already, haven't you? I really don't want to hear this kind of joke. If you wanted me to work so badly, you should have told me sooner. You didn't tell me anything. You're so arrogant to suddenly kick me out of the house. Anyway, I'm not getting a divorce.
How dare you? I told you over and over again to work. And yet you said all those nonsense and did nothing. It's too late now. If you say you won't agree to a divorce, I'll have to get a lawyer involved in the divorce proceedings. If that's the case, you'll have to pay alimony as well.
Alimony?
Isn't that obvious? I already have enough reasons and evidence for a divorce. I'll charge you alimony, including the money I've lent you.
Hold it right there. Isn't that too much? Don't be so upset.
I think you're the one who's upset. I'm totally ready for a divorce, so I have nothing more to say. If you won't agree to the divorce, then hire a lawyer.
I need to get out of our house and find a new place to live. I also need to find a job soon. I can't get a divorce nor get out of the house.
I want a divorce. That's it. That's all.
I won't be able to play video games.
There you go again. You're such a scumbag to the core. I wonder why I didn't divorce you earlier. If I had done it sooner, you wouldn't have wasted my money. What a disgrace to my life. By the way, if you're still home tomorrow, I'll call the police for trespassing.
Calling the police? I can't believe you're going to do that to your own husband.
I don't consider you my husband anymore. You're a stranger. If you enter my house without permission, that means you're trespassing.
That's too much. It's just a quarrel between you and me. Let's not do that anymore. I'm sorry about everything. I'll talk to my parents to think twice about moving in together. Forgive me.
Why are you talking so big? I really hate you. I'm never going to live with you. If you need a roommate, why don't you ask your parents? It's none of my business, so just go ahead and do it.
Don't be so cold. We're a married couple, right?
Unfortunately, in my mind, we're strangers now. Soon enough, you'll have a taste of my hard work by finding yourself a proper job. From morning till night. No, I think you need to work more than that to make ends meet. You won't have any spare time to play video games and so on. Are you ready to face the reality?
No way, that's a living hell. I absolutely hate it.
You have to take care of your parents. You have to work for them too. You're going to be so busy. You can't make your parents upset, right? You were the one who said that out loud.
That was just a figure of speech. I'm sorry, please forgive me.
It's not about forgiveness. You disgust me so much. I have nothing to say anymore. From now on, if you touch or break anything in the house, I'll have to charge you for compensation. If you do, I'll put that in your debt. Well, I'm sure you're already in debt, but it can't be helped.
What? I don't know if I can pay.
I don't care about that. It seems like you were planning to surprise me, but it totally backfired. You didn't think I was this far along in the divorce preparations, did you? You'd better get serious from now on. Work as hard as you can to make up for everything you've done.
Oh no.
Archie was living a carefree life according to his own interpretation of the situation. However, when he plotted to take over the house she had purchased, it all came crashing down. Everything was ruined because he tried to take over the house that Michelle had bought. She also found out that Archie's plan of living together with his parents. This triggered her to start the plan she had been preparing. Without any hesitation, she decided to get a divorce. Perhaps because of his low intelligence level, Archie had a hard time understanding the magnitude of the situation. But when Michelle asked him for a divorce, he gradually began to realize. Once he realized how serious she was and that he had to leave the house, he panicked. But it was already too late. In the end, Michelle demanded Archie to leave the house they were living in by the next day. His income is zero. He was a scumbag who depended on Michelle for everything. Archie had nowhere to go. He tried to rely on his parents' house, which was in shambles. but the house had been taken away because of his family death. As a result, the three of them became homeless. Until now, Archie had spent all his time playing video games each day. But now he's working at morning, noon, and late at night. He was finally able to rent an old apartment. In addition to the rent, it seems that Archie also earns money for living expenses. But his parents spent all their money betting on the horse race. Naturally, they could not afford the expenses anymore. Archie could no longer afford to buy new games too. Only heaven knows what will happen to Archie and his parents in the future.
Nice to meet you. You're Scott's wife, Rachel? Yes, nice to meet you. I'd like to talk to you. Do you have a moment now? Who is this? How do you know my number? My name is Sarah. I used to work for the same company as your husband. I had just joined the company, so he was my trainer. I asked him for your number. I see. I didn't know he was training a newbie. He was a very nice trainer. By the way, what do you need from me? Yes, this is very important. Actually, I've been dating Scott for about 7 years now. What? What do you mean by dating? We love each other. Love each other? My husband is married to me. Of course, I know that. So you knew he is married and you were dating him? Yes, 7 years ago. Scott, my trainer, and I, the trainee, fell in love. I still believe that we are meant to be. In other words, you were having an affair with him, is that correct? For 7 years? 7 years ago, I think that's the time we got married. You guys have been dating before we got married? That is right. At that time, he chose you and I couldn't be his wife. But now we don't know which of us he is serious. Hey, this is not some kind of joke. I wouldn't text to tell a wife something like this as a joke. Right. Scott and I have a 4-year-old daughter. What? A 4-year-old daughter? My youngest daughter is 4 years old too. I mean, you kept it a secret for 7 years. Why are you telling me now? Are you asking me to break up or something? No, there is no need to. It seems that he doesn't want to get divorced either. And I am quite satisfied with my life as it is now. But your daughter has no father, right? Are you raising her by yourself? It's fine. Scott comes to our house and plays the role of a father. That's why he's not around on weekends. And when he spends so much money on drinking and golf, actually it was for... He gives us enough money every month to live on, so we don't have any problems on living. I don't want to destroy your family either. You've kind of destroyed it already. Then why did you tell me? I'm thinking of letting my daughter take piano lessons. Why not? That's a good idea. There's no need to ask for permission, is there? But in order for her to practice piano as much as she wants, we need to move to a soundproof apartment. Oh, okay. Plus, if I buy a piano and let her take lessons, I'll need more money than that. Well, if you're going to put that much effort into it, I'm sure you will. That's why I wanted Scott to give us more money. Excuse me? I heard that you manage the living expense, so I reached to you directly. Do you mean that we have to give money from our family's budget to a woman who is having an affair? Is that why you told me about the affair you have been continuing for the past 7 years? I was going to keep it a secret from you, but it's for my daughter's sake. I had no choice. You work from home, right? We depend on Scott's money and we're having a hard time. If that's the case, why don't you work? I am having a hard time raising my daughter. I mean, I have 2 children, but I work. Anyway, we've reached the limit to make ends meet with his savings and allowance, so please give us some of your money. I give him quite a lot of money every month, and now that I know it's being used for you and the child, I feel like not to give him any more. And now you want me to give you even more money? Do you realize how selfish you are? We won't destroy your family. I'm just asking for money. Is that a problem? You're the type of person who doesn't understand. Fine. I'm glad you understand. Then can you transfer the money today? No, I can't do it today. Anyway, I'd like to confirm things with my husband. If it's about money, it's not something I can answer right now. Would it be alright if I talk to you later? Yes, but I would like her to start taking piano lessons as soon as possible. Please reach me as soon as you can. It was truly shocking. It is true that my husband is very busy and spends very little time at home. However, when he is home, he is a good father who often plays with the children. When I asked him when he came home that night, he admitted to cheating on me and apologized. Ma'am, it has been almost a week now since that day. Have you considered about it? My daughter is looking forward to going to a class soon. I checked with my husband right after that, and he admitted it. So I decided to believe your story. Okay, so what about the money? We cannot support you financially, so I refuse. What? My beautiful daughter has a talent for the piano. Are you going to crush her talent? How can you do such a terrible thing? That has nothing to do with us. It does, because her dad is Scott. She's your husband's child. We're getting divorced. What? Divorce? No, I didn't ask for that. What are you doing? We've thought it over. I think it's difficult to manage 2 families' finances on my husband's income. That may be so, but... So he should divorce me and be together with you. Wait, I'm sure you can manage your family finance with your income. So you want me to give you all of my husband's income? That's very arrogant of you. We don't have any money, so there's nothing we can do. Without his income, my daughter and I will starve. That's because you don't work. I told you I'm busy raising my daughter, didn't I? That's just an excuse. In fact, I am raising 2 children myself. I work in between. Today I'm discussing divorce with my husband with a lawyer. Oh no! I'm leaving everything else to him. I believe he's going to your place. So you guys decide the rest. You should officially become husband and wife and raise your daughter together. I don't think that's a good idea. I want things to stay the way they are. I can't now that I know about the affair. I can't live the same way. But you have 2 kids, right? Wouldn't they be better to stay with Dad? Yes, but it's better to be divorced and raise myself than to live with a man who cheated on me. My kids and I will be moving out soon, so you guys cannot reach me anymore. I don't think they would want to know that their father is a man who cheated on his wife before they were married. But don't you feel sorry for Scott? He won't be able to see his children. He cheated on me. He deserves it. What? So don't worry. You can marry Scott. I told you I'm not asking you to divorce or remarry. Why? If he divorces me and remarry you, he can spend his income on you. Up until now, I've been managing his money, but that will be gone. It's good for you. I'm not interested in destroying other people's families. It's already over 7 years ago when you started dating my husband. But you only found out recently. I did find out recently, but if he has been cheating on me for the past 7 years, then we were over from 7 years ago. That's not my fault. No, I think my husband is the worst. That's why I'm divorcing him. Please don't divorce him. I feel sorry for him. I have no compassion for people who cheat. Well, I have to go see my lawyer now, so if you'll excuse me. Wait a minute! Don't get divorced! He'll be sad! The woman who introduced herself as Sarah said some mysterious things, so I discussed it with my lawyer. He suggested me that he would do a background check on her, so he started to investigate her while we proceeded a divorce. I told my husband not to see her until the investigation was done, and finally I was able to get the results that I can satisfy. Hey, why is Scott moving in with us? Please don't do anything without asking me. The lease is under Scott's name, and the person living there is someone he has been with for many years and his daughter. So it's natural that he would move in there after divorcing me. That's true, but... Then I don't see any problem with Scott living with you. There are many problems. I only need him to come see us a few times a week. Is that because you don't want your real boyfriend to find out? What? What are you talking about? What do you mean by a real boyfriend? I don't have anyone else. There's no point in playing dumb. I thought something was wrong, so we investigated you. What? Sarah, you have another boyfriend, don't you? Perhaps your daughter is his child. My child is definitely Scott's child. If you don't say so, you won't get any money from Scott. What's up with you? Do you have any proof? I won't forgive you if you insult me without any proof. I looked up the date of birth of your daughter and calculated backwards. Huh? That was when Scott was on a long business trip. He was abroad for about 3 months. Isn't it strange to have a child? There could be some time gap. Besides, your daughter is 4 years old, right? My daughter's birthday is 6 months after yours. It was the year I got pregnant, so I remembered he had to go on a long business trip. I was able to know the truth because our children are the same age. I certainly don't have any clear evidence, but what would Scott do if he found out about this? Don't tell me you told him. So your daughter is not Scott's child? So what? My real boyfriend doesn't make much money. So I'm just pretending that she's Scott's child for the time being. He is happy believing it. It would be better for him not to tell anything unnecessary. Well, it's none of my business. Do as you please. Anyway, I've already told Scott, but you guys have to pay me the child support. What? Child support? Yes. When you told me about the affair, you were prepared for this situation, weren't you? If you had kept it quiet, I wouldn't have known, but you reached and told me you were having an affair. It's like you want to pay me the child support. Why would I pay? I'm the one who gets paid, right? I don't understand how you can get that idea. For 7 years, you knew my husband was married. You guys were cheating on me, right? Then I have the right to ask for the child support. I've already told you that we don't have that kind of money. I've been telling you for a while now that you should work. I was getting money from Scott because I didn't want to work. It seems like he has been paying you a lot of money. Thanks to you, he has no more savings. Now he's penniless. That's what he wanted to do for me. In other words, you lied to him that she's his child and steal his money though. Depending on the case, but he may also ask you to take the responsibility. Well, it doesn't matter to me. From now on, you guys have to pay me. The child support for 2 children, so I'm sure it's going to be tough. That's not my business. But it seems like he's planning to remarry you. I know it's going to be tough, but please work hard and pay. Wait! Don't put me in trouble. You know I have a real boyfriend. I don't want Scott if he doesn't have any money. Please tell him that directly. I've already decided to ask for the child support and we've already got divorced. You are no longer of any concern to me. Oh no, 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 no. I'll return him to you, so come and get him. I don't need him. No, thank you. My real boyfriend is coming. Please, let me live my life as before. Why don't you just stay with him and live as you have been doing? We can't go back to the way we were before. Why do I have to listen to all of your favors? I'll do anything what you ask. Then suffer. No, hey. Scott started to bring in his stuff. There's no way 3 of us can live in this small apartment. Well, he has already moved out of our house, but he doesn't have much stuff, so you should be fine. He sold things which he collected as a hobby to earn money to pay you. It seems like he really cared about your family over there. That's not good. If my real boyfriend found out, I'd be in trouble. You're lucky I saved you the trouble of explaining it to him. Please, I don't need him anymore. I'll give him back. I don't need him too. I'm sorry I had an affair, so please go back to the way things were. Please take him back. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to move out, so I have to go. Wait, wait. I'm sure you guys will receive a letter from my lawyer regarding the child support. Please work hard and pay it. I beg you, please, help me, Rachel. My real boyfriend is coming. Hey, please, help me. Eventually, it was discovered that the daughter was not Scott's child. Sarah was also demanded to return the money Scott had paid until now. She had no choice but to work. She is now exhausted from hard work, day and night. On the other hand, Scott is asking me to get back together, but I have been ignoring him. How can a person who cheated on his wife be forgiven? The world is not that easy. By the way, Sarah's real boyfriend found out about the whole thing. He took her daughter, his own child, to his parents' home and raised her with his own hands. Of course, he decided to keep his distance from Sarah.